Hey photographers, if you want to get the most from your new Nikon Z30, here are some of the settings that you'll want to change before you start creating stills or video. This Z30 is on loan from Nikon Canada. They didn't pay me. Suggest this topic or see the script or video before posting. Now, for the life of me, I can't figure out why Nikon doesn't default to its highest quality settings. If you bought this camera, you want the best. And that's not what you get when you take it out of the box. In the photo shooting menu, scroll down to image quality. Who thought JPEG normal was appropriate? Reset that to JPEG fine. Yes, the files are a little larger, but memory cards are cheap. You bought a good camera? Be a cheapskate before you buy a camera, not afterwards. This is not the place to save a few euros, dollars, or baht. It's the same for video. The default is regular HD when the camera is capable of 4K. So yes, if you want slow motion, you may prefer to record HD 120 frames or select one of the in-camera slow-mo settings. 4K provides higher quality and more options. In editing, you can zoom in and reframe a shot and not lose quality if you're outputting to HD. And don't be fooled by the MOV or MP4 setting. There's no difference in video quality or compatibility. Difference is audio. MOV is better. Now, Nikon doesn't believe you want to see the picture you've just taken. Yes, just press the play key, but I'd like to see it automatically. Setting on the playback menu, picture review, turns it on. And then custom settings menu, C, timers, picture review, controls the length the image is displayed. 2 seconds is the shortest. Why aren't those together? Or just press the shutter to return to live view. Now, incidentally, while you're at picture review, have a look at the playback display options. They might be interesting or useful when you're reviewing your images. And yes, after you've tried this feature, you may want to turn it off. For whatever reason, the Z30's kind of slow to display the image. If you're posting your images, you'll want to get them to your smartphone right away. So install Nikon's free Snapbridge app on your phone. The app's wizard gets you set up. Select auto download to transfer all images you take. The app also syncs the clock and transfers the phone's location data to the camera. The green auto mode is oh so tempting, and the results are very good. But auto has a hidden gotcha, which limits you to the default color and exposure setting. Press the I key for the info menu, and although you can change things like focus mode and area, or select a burst mode, you can't change the white balance or select a picture control setting. Change to the program exposure mode, which still automates both the shutter speed and the aperture, just like auto, but releases those two settings. Then you can select vivid, monochrome, or portrait, as well as the 20 custom in-camera filters. Who doesn't want that? P mode also releases the meter setting option, which is worth doing, particularly if your subject is the brightest thing in the scene. That's great for performers on stage, but also bright objects in dark settings like stained glass windows. Now, by default, the camera's auto ISO will expose up to 51,200. That may be above your tolerance for the artifacts created by high ISOs. Take a few test shots, and when you know the highest you want, use the photo shooting menu, ISO sensitivity settings, to set the maximum. Now, that doesn't prevent you from using a higher ISO, but then it's your decision, not the camera's. And if you haven't found the camera's secret auto ISO on-off, press the ISO key and turn the front dial. Now, the mechanical shutter in the Z30 isn't particularly noisy, but if you prefer the discretion of a silent shutter, it's the last item on the photo menu. And this is completely silent, not like silent on a DSLR. Video shooters may find the small record button hard to find. Quick fix for that? Buried in the G2 custom controls, you can set the shutter release key for video. Now, it only starts recording video when the stills video selector is at video. When it's at stills, it still releases the shutter for an image. But this may not be good advice. The Z30 has the ability to save stills while recording video, and although there are limitations, stills are saved at the video frame size with the JPEG normal setting. That means if you're recording 4K video, the stills will be 8 megapixels. But that feature works by pressing the shutter release while recording, which means that if you've customized the shutter key, that feature won't be available. But in playback mode, the Z30 can still save an image from the video, which amounts to the same thing with a little more control. Play the video, pause the video at the frame you want to turn into a still, press the I key, and select Save Current Frame. Cool, huh? When the Z30 switches to video, the right side manual exposure meter disappears. Press DISP to see the histogram for an exposure assist, but I also find G5, Highlight Display option, useful to see if I am overexposing something. This is sometimes called zebra because stripes appear on the overexposed area. Adjust your exposure until they're gone. The threshold maximum is 255. I use the default 248, providing a little buffer. So there are 3 user settings on the mode dial. If you've configured the camera to your preferred still settings, save them on the setup menu. Do the same thing for video. And then, no matter what changes you or someone else makes, it's easy to get back to your preferred settings. Now, if you've been wondering about the little fuzzy ears on the camera, Nikon sent the review unit with this small rig windsock flash shoe attachment. I guess wind noise can be an issue even with the menu setting, but the nice thing here is that it has its own cold shoe to mount a mic. Speaking of, I use the internal mic only for recording ambience. And I'm wearing a Zoom F2 which records files independently. I sync them in editing. Now there is one essential video accessory, an ND filter. That helps you get exposure under control on a sunny day for a defocused background. Filter diameter on the kit lens is 46 millimeters. And one last thing. If you're looking for more things to customize, download the manual. There's 615 pages that are guaranteed soporific. That's a good start. But the Z30 really does have lots to explore, like multi-exposure, focus bracketing, time-lapse. Lots of fun ahead. As I said, I was not paid to post this. There are no YouTube ads. I don't promote any product. And that's thanks to the members of this channel. We're an exclusive little group, and you're welcome to join us. That's the join button below. My videos remain free to watch, and I continue to read and reply to your relevant questions and civil comments. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.